The story begins with a man, Victor Frankenstein, who is a medical student and wants to do something big in his life. One night he goes to a circus where a beautiful girl is performing. Meanwhile, the girl falls from a great height and gets seriously injured. Here we also meet Igor, who has a bent back and is unable to walk properly. Igor likes this girl and she was having trouble breathing after the fall, but Igor understands what is wrong with her and how to fix it. Igor had a good knowledge of the human body, as he had read a lot of books in order to fix his bent back. Igor saves the girl's life and she starts breathing again. Victor Frankenstein is watching all this and is very surprised. He goes to Igor and asks him how he did all this. Igor tells that he has read a lot of books. Victor tells him that he is wasting his time in the circus and asks him to come with him so that he can change his life. The ringmaster hears all this and gets very angry because Igor wanted to leave. He locks Igor in a cage and threatens to hand him over to the police if he tries to go out. The ringmaster says that whatever knowledge Igor has gained about the human body is from stolen books and the police will catch him soon. Soon after, Victor Frankenstein arrives and frees Igor from the cage and runs away. The circus people chase them, but Victor and Igor escape and reach Victor's house. On reaching home, Victor treats Igor's back and removes the dirty material from his back, which corrects his posture. Now Igor is able to stand properly and is no longer a hunchback. On the other hand, a police officer is investigating some local murders and Igor's disappearance. Victor tells Igor that he is working on an experiment called reversal of death, i.e. bringing a dead person or animal back to life. He shows human eyes kept in a container, and when he passes current, the eyes start moving. Igor is very smart and corrects one mistake of Victor. He tells him that he has not attached the nerves of the eyes properly. Victor sees this and is overjoyed. Victor corrects Igor's mistake and is very impressed. He hires Igor as his assistant. Some time passes, and the two of them work on bringing dead animal body parts to life. Together, they want to create a giant chimpanzee that will be nothing less than a monster. They want to take science to a whole new level. After work, Victor and Igor go to a party where Igor meets the same beautiful girl we saw at the circus. The girl doesn't recognize Igor, but Igor still loves her very much. Victor tells him to stay away from the girl, as he finds her a distraction. Victor says that Igor won't be able to focus on work if he's all focused on the girl. Anyway, they both return to their house. Here we see the monster chimpanzee for the first time, who is chained in many electric wires. Now it's time to pass electricity to bring him to life. Igor is quite confused, but his confusion goes away the moment the dead chimpanzee starts moving. That means his experiment has been successful. The next day, to prove his science, Victor Frankenstein takes the chimpanzee to his university. There are some difficulties there, but when the chimpanzee comes alive, it starts attacking here and there and harming people. Seeing this, Victor kills his own creation, that is, the chimpanzee. The university expels him because he used an unconventional method. After this, some rich classmates meet Victor. They promise to give him funding and ask him to continue these experiments. They want Victor to create artificial humanoids for them, that is, some creatures from which they can make them work according to their wishes. Apart from this, they also offer a lot of money to Victor. Igor is not happy to see all this and does not want Victor to work with these people, but Victor ignores his words and accepts the offer of his rich classmate. Igor also agrees to support Victor because Victor changed his life, fixed his back, and saved his life. The next day, police officers come to Victor's house to investigate the case. They had come to know that an attempt was made to revive a chimpanzee in the university, but they do not have a warrant to check the house. Victor does not let them check the house, and they leave from there disappointed. Igor again meets the circus girl whom he loves. The girl convinces him to stop Victor from doing these experiments, otherwise he will create a monster again. They spend a lot of time together. On returning, Igor sees the police and their companions breaking down the door of Victor's house. Igor enters from another door and tells Victor to run away. He tells him that his investor and classmate has arranged for their escape. Victor does not leave from there and starts breaking all the machinery so that it does not fall into the hands of anyone else. Meanwhile, the police officer comes in and tries to stop them by showing a gun, but they do not stop. The police officer and Victor start fighting. After a lot of fighting, Victor pushes him, due to which his hand gets stuck in a big gear and gets cut. Now the police officer is left without one hand. On the other hand, Victor and Igor sit in a horse carriage and go to their friend who has funded this project. Here their friend, i.e. the investor, gives them more money and tells them to work on his project. You make an artificial human because it is not safe to work here now. The investor tells them to go to Scotland, where he has a family bungalow and they can work peacefully there. Igor once again tries to convince Victor not to get involved in these matters, but Victor does not listen to him and leaves for Scotland so that he can work on his experiment. After Victor leaves, the investor comes to Igor and tells him that as soon as this experiment is completed, he will kill Victor and use the artificial human created by him as a weapon. He will be artificial, no bullet will affect him, no one will be able to kill him, and he will follow my orders. After telling all this, the investor ties Igor's hands and feet and throws him into the water. But with great difficulty, Igor unties his ropes and comes up saving his life. After saving his life, he goes to the circus girl and tells her that Victor's life is in danger. We have to save his life. Both of them go to Scotland to tell Victor that his life is in danger. Reaching there, Igor tells Victor everything that he is being played with and his life is in danger. But despite knowing all this, Victor wants to continue the experiment. He tells a secret that many years ago there was a storm in which his elder brother was killed, and Victor considers himself responsible for his brother's death. He wants to bring his elder brother back to life through this experiment. After some time, the investor and police officer also reach there while Victor is doing his experiment. During the experiment, overloading happens and excessive electricity is generated, causing havoc everywhere. Everything starts getting destroyed and their machine blasts, due to which the investor dies on the spot. The police officer tells Victor that you are behind this destruction. All this is happening because of you. During this conversation, the monster that he created gets up from its place and starts moving. Victor is happy somewhere that perhaps his experiment has been successful. He tries to talk to the monster, but it does not say anything and keeps standing at the same place. The police officer is very scared. The monster looked very dangerous, and he takes out his gun and shoots at it. This hurts the monster a lot, and it attacks the policeman and kills him. After that, the monster starts fighting with Victor and Igor and harms them too. But finally, after a lot of fighting, both of them together kill the monster there. In the end, Victor is shown sitting on the seashore. He writes a letter to Igor, in which he tells him that he can meet that girl, because initially he had refused to meet her. Apart from this, in the letter, Victor also apologizes to Igor because Igor kept refusing him again and again, but he did not listen to him at all. The movie ends on this scene. Thank you.